And I will ask some questions which might sound stupid because these are the things that you would have covered in the past. But just feel comfortable. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so we are talking about percentages. That's the first chapter. Let me also share my screen so that you can see what I'm doing here on the screen. Right. How comfortable are you playing with percentages? If I can ask
Pretty
that.
comfortable.
Very comfortable. This is part of our day-to-day life, right? I mean, this is something that we deal with very often, correct?
Right.
So, can you see the white screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we should not be worrying much about it. I would simply assume that you're very comfortable, but I'll still do some childish stuff. This is the listed price of, let's say, of a dress that you want to buy, and people say, I'll give 30% discount during Thanksgiving. Very easy, right? You don't 30%. So let's look at some very basic, easy concept. Any percent, come on, yeah, any percent, it's per and cent. Cent stands for century. Okay, so that is how it is constructed. If somebody says 5 hours per day, how do you write it? 5 hours per day, right? It's
Right.
likewise if somebody says 20%, 20%. This is like the division sign per 100%. So that's how it is read, right? So if you have to, let's say, convert, if you're saying 20%, you're saying 20%, 20 by 100. If you have to write that in decimal, how much that will be? 20 by 100, that is this point 2. Yeah. I mean, this is just one part of it. So if somebody says point 0.7, convert point 0.7 into percentage, how much that will be?
7%? Oh, 70%.
70%. So you have to always say, how do I get 100 in the denominator? So 7, if I'm saying point 0.7, that is how much? In fraction, it'll be, okay, let me do it this way. Point 0.7. If I have to convert this into fraction, what will I do? This, and instead of the decimal, I'll write a 1, and then how many digits? 1. So it's 7 by 10. So this is still not a percentage. This is not a percent. So to convert this into percent, you have to multiply. Okay, let me do it step by step. So what I have is 7 by 10. If I have to convert that into percentage, that means I have to multiply the denominator and the numerator both by 10. That is how it becomes 70 by 100 or 70%. Yeah.
Right.
And I'll make you play with maths always. Okay. So let's say if I have 0.123, if I have to convert this into fraction, how do you do that?
I would put it over 100, right? So like it would be 12.3%.
12.3%. Oh, that is percentage. I'm saying if I have to just convert any decimal into a fraction, how do I do it? How do I do that?
You put it over 100.
No. So if, let's say, if I have this number to be converted into fraction, what will I do? I will write everything without a decimal. So I'll
Okay.
just kind of digest the decimal. I'll not put that. Okay, 123, and then in the denominator for the decimal point, I will put a 1, and then see how many digits I have after the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 3 digits, so 3 zeros. That is how it converts into a fraction. So let's say 10 by 4. 10.14. If I have to convert this into fraction, what will I do? I will just swallow the decimal and put the number likewise, unlike this, and then I have to do the adjustment for the decimal. So decimal, instead of decimal, I'll put a 1 and then count how many digits I have after the decimal. So I have 2 digits, I'll put 2 zeros.
Oh, yeah.
Let me this. If I have to convert, what will I do? I will just forget about the decimal, write whatever I have, 0 and 3. And then now I am doing the calculation for the decimal. So decimal, instead of decimal, I'll put a 1 and then count how many digits I had. That many zeros. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, so if I have this, if I have to convert this into a decimal, if I have to convert this into a fraction or a percentage, what will I do first? I will convert this into a fraction. Whatever oops, whatever I had, I will just write it as is. Then for the decimal, I will put a 1 and then I have 2 digits. So this. So it becomes 2 by 100. So I can write this as a fraction, 2 by 100, or I can say this is 2. I can say this is 2% because this is 2 by 100. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I know these are the easy ones, but I was just doing it to make sure that no, we don't kind of overlook this, right? So uh, when it comes to percentage, there are three things that we have to always know. That if I have a decimal, how do I convert this into percentage, or how do I convert a percentage into a fraction or a decimal? Both ways. Yeah, clear?
Yes.
Oh, now let's play with that a little bit more. So if I say, be ready with your pen and pencil, okay? Pen and paper. If I say find out 30% of 900, how much that will be?
Okay.
30% of 900. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Yes.
Hmm.
I got 270.
That is right. Yeah. So this is pretty straightforward. Okay. Somebody says, okay, find out, let's say 25% of 2000. So 25% of 2000. 25%. See, this is like writing a story. 25%, 25 by 100 off. Multiplication is off 2000. Yeah, that's what you have written, and then you do the calculation. Here, you can do the tic tac toe like I do always. I can knock off the zeros. These two zeros I can knock off. And this becomes 25 into 20. So 25 into 20 will be 500. So either way, I mean, whichever way you are comfortable, right? Now, if I flip the question, 300 is what percentage of 500? How will you find that out?
You would switch the ratios. So it would be like
Mhm,
300 over 500
mhm,
equals x over 100.
hmm, Right. Or you can simply do whatever is to be found as a percentage that you'll put as numerator, 300 by 500 in 200, and whatever you get, that is the percentage actually. Mm. Okay,
Mm.
no, sorry. 300 by 500. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I was going the right direction. 300 by 500 into 100. That will be the percentage amount. Now let's do that. 5. This is 60%. So if you know a number X is what percent of Y? If this is a question, right? If you have to find out if any number is what percentage of another number, you'll just do X by Y into 100, and this will get you the answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you'll say why I'm telling you to remember this. Now let's write this like an equation. Let's say we are trying to find out X is what percentage of Y, right? So let's say it is Z percentage, meaning Z percentage of Y equals X, right? We are trying to find out Z. What is Z, right? So
Right.
here now you have the equation Y into Z by 100 equals to X. We are saying Y, let's say we assume that, okay, Z percentage of Y is X. So Z by 100 into Y equals to X. That means if I have to keep Z on one side, so Z becomes, this goes here, this comes down. So X into 100 by Y. Y comes down, right? So that is why I was saying if I have to find out any number is what percentage of another number, I'll say that number divided by the number against which we are trying to compare the percentage and multiplied by 100. That is how this equation came, right? Am I confusing you?
No,
Okay,
it makes
X I'm trying to find out is what percentage. I'm just doing it one more time so that no, you don't miss on that. Percentage of Y. Like we say, right? 50% of 200. So here, this is the number 200. I'm trying to say any number is what percentage of Y. So let's say this what is what we are trying to find out. This is Z. So Z percent of Y is equals to X. And this is Z is what we are trying to find out. So that is how this equation, if you simplify, you keep Z on one side and move everything to other side. So this becomes X into 100. This division becomes multiplication by going to other side of the equal to sign. And this multiplication becomes division. X by Y into 100. And X is the number which you are trying to find out what percentage of a target number. So X by Y into 100. So simple thing that we take away from this, if I have a number, let's say 100, and I want to know 100 is what percentage of 600, what I will do, I will put 100 as a numerator and 600 as a denominator and multiply that by 100. Whatever comes, that tells me 100 is what percentage of 600. Yeah.
right.
Okay. So this is on the percentage thing. You able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so this is what I had listed down as a topic for. No, I mean, after going through the Khan Academy, the other thing that we need to know out of 100 or per 100. I mean that's a definition. Percentage equal to part by whole into 100. Like we were just doing the calculation right now. X by Y into 100, right? Complementary percentage. Now, who joined? Advik, you are okay. Advik joined 1 hour earlier. Okay. So, complementary percentage. This is just no, Another way of looking at it, let's say I say I have, let's say, apple and oranges in the basket. Apple is 20%. Okay. I have only two fruits in the basket. Apple is 20%. What percentage is oranges? So oranges percentage is complementing the apple percentage, right? So that's why it is 100 minus 20%. I mean, it's just another way of looking at it. So complementary percentage is like, you know the percentage of one of the element in a mixture, and the other one is 100 minus that percent. That's all. Yeah. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. Then converting percentage to decimal and fraction. This part we know, right? Any percentage, how do you convert into fraction or decimal? 70%. 70% is 70 by 100, or this becomes 0.7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 70% into a fraction is like this, into decimal is like this. Yeah. Nothing new, nothing interesting, but we just covering. Percentage change. Okay. Now, this is something that we want to quickly take a look at. Somebody says, my, let's say my net worth is $1,000 today. Okay. And after 3 years, my worth changed by 60%. How much is my worth after 3 years?
Did it increase or decrease?
I love that. That was a very good question. My worth can decrease or increase both, right? I simply assume that my worth is increasing. But your question was very valid. So if I say, yes, my worth increased by 60%, how much
60?
is my, yeah.
Okay.
After 3 years, my worth increased by 60%. So what is my net new worth?
Uh, Hold on. It increased by 600, so it would be 1,600.
Yes. Okay. So this is, that is a simpler question. But now what will happen next to this is a new a concept of simple interest and compound interest will come into picture. Okay. So uh, let's not go there for now, but it'll be unfair if we don't briefly talk about it. Let's say I put $100 in a bank, and bank says I'll give you 5% interest every year. Okay. So what will happen after first year? I will Bank will give me 5% interest. So 5% of 100 is 5. So my 100 became 105. Yeah.
Right.
Bank was very intelligent. Bank said that, okay, I'll give you simple interest, meaning whatever is my principal amount eh, that I'm depositing today, every year they will give me 5%. So they will give me, after second year, they'll again give me 5% of this, another $5. Third year, another $5. So let's see, if I keep my money for 3 years, every year they gave me $5 interest. I got 115. I deposited 100, I got 115. But actually bank is cheating me. Agree?
Yeah.
Because after first year, my money with the bank was not 100, it became 105. Yes?
Yeah.
It had become 105, but the bank is only giving me interest for $100. That's how they gave me 100 interest only for $100. The $5 extra that I had earned as interest from the bank, for that they did not give me interest. Okay. So there's a different concept that applies in the bank that you must have heard about, that is called compound interest. Compound interest. Do you know what is the difference between simple and compound interest?
Uh, I learned it a while ago, but I don't remember.
Hmm. Right. Not a problem. That is why I always try to relate that with whatever we learn with a practical example. So this is it. Okay. I'm pretty sure you will not. You will probably not forget this now. Let's say, like I said, okay, I have $100. I've given put $100 in bank account. They are giving me $5, 5% interest every year. So they are giving me $5 as interest. After first year, they gave me my money became 105. I kept the money for one more month, one more year. Bank said, okay, I'm giving you $5 more as interest next year. So 105. I have $100 in the bank. They gave me $5 interest again. $5 interest that I got, that bank did not talk about. They said, okay, this is your $5 interest. Next year another $5. So total 100 plus 5 plus 5, $110. This is called simple interest, where your interest doesn't earn you interest. Okay. Here, it's simple interest. They are just look at what you have deposited, and there's a fixed interest percentage that they will give you every year. When your interest starts earning interest, meaning, let's say after first year, I had $100. Let's say I deposited on 1st of January 2023, and bank said I'll give you 5% compound interest, meaning on 31st December 2023, they gave me 5% interest. So 100 plus 5. Now on the 1st January of 2024, how much money I have deposited in the bank? 100 that I had given before, plus $5 that they gave me as interest for the first year. So my
Right.
total money is 105. Now on 31st of January 2024, they will give me 5% interest. So it will be 105 into 5 by 100. This is the interest that they will give me, which will be more than $5 actually.
Yeah.
And so after every year when the interest is calculated, that becomes your principal amount, on the top of which the bank gives the interest. So now you should look at simple interest thing. Simple interest. Let's say somebody says, I'll give you X percentage interest. Let's say my principal amount is P. Okay. And they are giving me X percentage interest. So this is the interest I am earning every year, P into X by 100. Okay. Now, and if I keep the money for, let's say, Y number of years, the total interest that is earned after X number of years, simple interest earned will be principal amount multiplied by percentage interest rate multiplied by number of years divided by 100. This is the total interest I'm earning. So after, let's say, let me write in a different way. let's say I'll call it simple interest, SI, okay, equals, let's say P is your principal amount, X is your rate of interest, or let me use other term. P is my principal amount, R is my rate of interest, okay, and N is the number of years I'm keeping my money in the bank. Okay. So
Okay.
after n number of years, what is the simple interest that I'm earning? Which will be P principal amount multiplied by rate of interest into n. Let's say that's what we were doing, right? That
Right.
if I have $100 deposited in the bank and they are giving me 5% interest, and if I keep it for 2 years, first year I am earning 100 into 5 by 100. That is $5. If I'm keeping it for 2 years, I'm earning 5 into 2. If I'm keeping it for 3 years, I'm earning 5 into 3. So this is the same thing. Prin- Principal amount, rate of interest into years. That's what is happening. So this is the formula that you can relate to. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So simple interest will be equal to principal amount multiplied by the rate of interest multiplied by the number of years divided by 100. So let's say if you have put $1,000 in the account in the bank, which is promising you, let's say, 10% rate of interest, and you keep the money for 5 years. Okay. So what is the simple interest that you have earned? That will be, you can apply the formula here. So $1,000 P into rate of interest is 10 into number of years is 5 by 100. So this becomes this zero I'm knocking off, this zero I'm knocking off. So what I
500.
100 into 5, 500. Yeah. So after keeping my money, keeping my $1,000 in the bank for 5 years, I'm getting this much interest. So after 5 years, if I want to withdraw my money, total money that I can withdraw is the principal amount that I had plus the interest that I earned. Yeah.
Right.
So 1,000 plus 500. This is a simple interest formula. Now, when you look at the compound interest, like I was saying, if I keep 100 after first year, let's say 5% is my rate of interest. After first year, get 100 plus 5% of 100. Yeah. Now, second year, what happens? This thing became 100 plus 100 into 5 by 100. This became my principal amount, right? I had $100 and I earned this much interest. This is my new principal. So which will be 105 plus, now next year I will earn 5% of this. Yeah.
Yes.
Next year I will, whatever is the new amount, this becomes my this thing. So this converts into a formula which says principal amount based on compound interest, or I will say new value, or whatever you call it, equals P as in principal amount into 1 plus rate of interest by 100 into to the power n. So this is the compound, the new value of your new worth
Right.
for a principal amount of P. If you are keeping in the bank for n years, which is giving you this much as a compound interest per year. Now let's look at this. Let's say you have $1,000. Okay, you have deposited in the bank, which is giving you 10%. We just looked at that formula, right? Simple interest and this thing for 5 years. What will be the new amount we saw that the total interest that we earned with simple interest was 500. So our $1,000 became in 5 years became 1,500, right? That's what we saw in the calculation for simple interest, correct? Now see if the bank gives me the compound interest of same 10%. What is my new value? Yeah, this one you remember? We got 500 as an interest for 5 years with this interest rate. Remember? No.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we use the compound interest formula, what will be the new value? New value will be my principal amount was 1,000. P into 1 plus R. Rate of interest is 10 by 100 to the power 5. This is number of years. See what is my new principal amount value? 1,000 multiplied by 1 plus. So this is 110 by 100 to the power 5, or I can say 11 by 10 to the power 5. 1,000 into 11 by 10 to the power 5. Okay. If you do this calculation, this will be much more than this one, because the difference is here after every year your principal amount increases because the interest got added to the principal, and that became your new principal on which the interest gets applied, right?
Right.
Otherwise, in the simple interest way, the bank is literally keeping quiet on the money that you've earned as interest, and they're not giving you any benefit for that. So that's the only difference between simple and compound interest. Okay.
Okay.
Any doubt, confusion so far?
No.
No. If you have any doubt, please don't be shy. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at the next topic. So percentage part. What happened? This guy is not opening up. Okay. Percentage we looked at. I believe you will not have any problem with this one. But yeah, before we move forward, are you kind of looking at those the unit test and this thing in the Khan Academy? This one after every chapter that we learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure that when you practice that, right, that is
Hmm.
when you will know whether I'm teaching you something right or not. If there's something that I'm making clear or not. Okay. If
Okay.
you're missing something, that gives me an opportunity to kind of relook at it and make sure that our concepts learned are correct. Okay, so just spend after every class, right, every lesson that we go through, if you just do the sums that you have as part of practice test for those units, you will be able to finish that in half an hour, 45 minutes actually, for every
Okay.
class. So keep doing that as a practice in parallel, and let me know if there's something that you find difficult or something that is not explained well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to the next lesson, which is center, spread, and shape of distributions. So let's first look at center. Why it is called center or a spread or shape of distribution? So first of all, when you say center, center is always the circle. When you have too many things and you want to find something in the middle, in math, generally the three things: mean, median, and mode. These are the three terms that helps you find out something in the middle when you're looking at a group of numbers. Okay, let's say mean is nothing but the average.
Right.
You have five numbers, add them together, divide them by 5, that's a mean, right? Let's say you have three numbers, 100, sorry, 100, 200, and 600. You have to find out the mean of this. Just add them together. And since there are three numbers, divide this by 3. So this becomes 900 by 3, 300. Finding a mean is nothing but finding the average. I'll not waste your time explaining that. Okay, that's simple. Now, do you remember what is a median?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So median is, you can probably explain me. I mean, I'll correct you if I have something more to add to it.
Uh, median is the middle, like
Yeah.
the number in the like the average number basically. It's like the
Mean is
middle.
the average, correct. That one we just saw. If we have to look at the median, how do you find a median? Let me give you an example. 21, 9, 17, 32, 51. If you have to find out a mean of this, what will you do? You just add them together, divide by 5. That is straightforward. Now, if
Right.
you have to find out the median, what? How will you find that?
The median.
The mean part is fine. Mean is the average, so that you will add and divide by the number of numbers, right? You have 5 numbers, add them together, divide by 5. That is a mean. If you have to find the median,
You have to put it in order from like the
yeah.
smallest to the biggest number, and then you
Yes,
have to count backward to where.
yeah, right. So median is nothing but an approach to find the number in the middle when you have the numbers arranged in a certain order. Okay. So like I was saying, if I have 21, 9, 17, 52, and 35, you have to find out the median. First thing you will do is you will arrange them in increasing order. What comes first? 9. Then comes 17. Then comes 21. Then comes 35. Then comes 52. You got the numbers arranged. Now you look at which number is in the middle. See, you total have 5 numbers. Obviously, the third number will be the middle number, right? So you
Right.
got 21 is the middle number, and that is what will be your median. But there could be a situation where you have, see, whenever you have odd number of numbers, let's say I have 7, 2, 5, 16, 18. I have odd number of numbers, so I have 5 numbers. That is easier. I'll first arrange them 2, 5, 7, 16, and 18. I got 5 numbers, so third number in the middle is my median. But there could be a situation where you are dealing with an even number of numbers. Let's say you have 16, 39, 6, 14, 12, and 8. Same thing first, you have to arrange them, right? 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, and 39. But which one is the median?
Um. Right.
So here, whenever you're dealing with odd numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will pick, sorry, whenever you're dealing with even numbers, whenever you're dealing with odd numbers, it's easy, right? You have 7. So 3 one side, 3 one side, the fourth one is the middle. You're dealing with 9 numbers, 4 one side, 4 one side, fifth one is the middle, right?
Right.
Here you're dealing with even numbers, 6 numbers. What you will do is you'll pick up 2 in the center. Okay. To this side, to this side. First you arrange them, pick up 2 in the center, add them together, get the average of that. 12 and 14 by 2. That gives your median. Average of the 2 numbers in the center. That will be a median. Okay. So the only thing that we have to remember is if you have odd number of I mean, whenever you have to find out the median, first you arrange them in increasing order. Then you count the number of numbers that you're dealing with. If it's an odd number of numbers, wonderful, not to worry. Pick up the one in the center. If you're dealing with even number of numbers, then you pick up the two in the center and take out the average of that. That will be your median. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is mode? Mode is nothing but a mechanism which tells you which number is occurring the most in a group of numbers. Let's say if I'm talking about 1, 16, 3, again 1, 14, 2, 16, 7, 16, 14, 18, 14, 16. Okay, let's say this is the marks scored by students in a set in a terminal exam or a monthly test. Okay, mode tells you what is the most recurring number in a group of result. So here if you see what is occurring the most, 16 has occurred 4 times. So 16 is nothing but the mode. This defines which number is occurring the most in a group of numbers actually. Yeah.
Right.
So let's say in your class there are 100 students and 80% of the students got 70% marks in the test. So 70%, the maximum probability of something happening in a group. Okay. Yeah. So this is the center. So basically center, spread, and this chapter that we're talking about, center, spread, and what happened? Okay. Yeah, my screen got frozen. So in this chapter, we are learning what center, spread, and distribution, shape of distribution. So this is the center part, which helps you find out what are the what are the ways you can find out something which is in the middle of uh, a group of numbers that you're dealing with, be it by finding out the average or the mean or the median, which tells you uh, the center of the ordered numbers, and the mode is that is something which tells you the most common number in the data set, something that happens or occurs the most number of times. Yeah. Now let's look at the spread. And spread is nothing but it tells you the variation of data or gives you let's say I have a number 1 and I have number 8 and I have a number 81. I have a number 16. If you just look at these 4 numbers in a group of numbers, okay, or let's say this is the result no, of 4 students in a class or 4 friends, you see a lot of variation, right? Somebody has got 1 who joined.
Sorry, I thought we were having class now.
Advik, you are 15 minutes early,
15?
13 minutes early.
Thir-
Drop off. Join at 4 o'clock. Okay?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mhm.
Bye.
No problem. All right. Yeah. So what I was saying was, if you look at these 4 numbers, or the score by 4 friends in a particular test, you are seeing so much of variation, right? Somebody got only a 1, and somebody got a 81. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody got only 8 or 16, but one person got way too much. So the 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 spread the spread talks about how how the numbers within a group of numbers are varying or different from each other. There are three ways to represent that. Let's just look at the definition so that no I don't miss on anything. First one is called range. Okay, so now if you look at the number, what is the range? What is the maximum value and what is the minimum value? 81 is the maximum
81.
and 1 is the minimum, right?
Mm.
So the range of this number is the difference between the maximum and the minimum. Okay,
So
so
80.
80. So you can say that this is the range. There's a range of 80 marks between the highest and the lowest in the class. Let's say if everybody got 72, 74, 78, and 73. What will be the range here? The maximum is this, minimum is this. Yeah. So range is 6. That means there's not much of variance between the marks scored by different students in the class. Yeah.
Right.
Or no, the teacher can look at the data and say, okay, everybody is doing equally good in the class, or everybody is doing equally bad in the class. Let's say the teacher had kept the target of 90% and everybody got 72, 74, 78, and 73. He can simply say, okay, yeah, everybody got in the range of 70s. So, I mean, it gives a very clear view of how much is the variance between the highest and the lowest. So that's why it is called variance. Okay. Sorry, it's called the range. Now, okay. Then comes the variance. There are three things. Okay. So one is called range, second is called variance, and third is called the standard deviation. And these are different techniques used for representing data or interpreting data. So first one is the range, which tells you, okay, what is the minimum and what is the maximum in a group of numbers. Okay. That was clear, right? Yeah.
Right.
Then comes the variance. Okay. Let me make sure that I don't put the wrong formula. Variance is average of square. Okay. Okay. Come on. Average of, did I put the formula right? Average of mm, this average of square. No, this formula doesn't seem to be right. Let me quickly check it. Variance. Whenever I get confused, I look at this as a savior. Let's see. Formula for variance. Okay. Average of a square. Okay. Okay. Fine. Who joined this now? Tasvik, you are 8 minutes early. Tasvik, you can drop off and join after 8 minutes. Let me finish the class for the senior students. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So, range is fine. Variance, when you talk about variance, is the data minus the mean by the number of values and then the square of it. So let's look at this way. Let's say you have 10, 12, 20, and 16. Okay. If you have to find out the variance, first thing you have to do is find out the mean of these three numbers. What is the mean here? 20 plus 16, 36 plus 10, 46. Let kids are in a hurry. Ishan, join,
Yeah.
join after 7 minutes. There's a class going on for level 3. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Join at 4. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let me make it 12. So calculation becomes easy. Okay. So if I have three numbers and I have to find out the variance for this. Are you with me so far, Dhanusri?
Yes.
So first thing you have to do is find out the mean, the average. So this is 12 plus 20, 32 plus 16, 48 by 3. This will be my mean, right? 16. So I got my mean as 16. So what you have to do is the variance says every data minus the mean. Average of every data minus mean into a square of, okay, a square of uh, data minus mean. Average, okay, let me put the right statement. Average of data minus mean. Square of the average of data minus mean. Okay, so let's write this like a formula. So my numbers are 12, 20, and 16. My mean is 16. So the variance will be, let's first find out the first uh, data minus the mean. Okay, this is 1 plus the second one is data minus the mean. Okay, plus the third one is 16 minus the mean. Okay, find out the average of this. So this divide by 3 and then square of whatever you have got. Okay, so first number is 12, mean is 16, so this becomes minus 4 plus 20 minus 16 is what? Am I okay?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? You kind of glitched.
Um, sorry.
You sort of glitched for me, so I didn't know what you
Yeah,
said.
yeah. No, so this formula is also not working right. I'm just trying to. Hmm, I'm just trying to find out. Okay, okay, got it. I was just missing something actually. Okay, so let me repeat it. So the you can hear me okay, right?
Yes. Now I can.
I have three numbers and I've got the mean as this. It says variance equals average of data minus mean square. So sum of the square divided by the total number of numbers I'm dealing with. So first of all, you have to find out every data. First is 12 minus mean, square of this, plus second number is 20 minus the mean, square of this, plus the third number is 16 minus the mean, square of this, and then the average of the three. So that means you have to divide by 3. So here 12 minus 16 is minus 4, square of that is 16, plus 20 minus 16 is 4, square of that is 16. Who joined? Sanya? Give me 3 more minutes. I'm just wrapping up the class for senior students, okay? Okay. And third one is 16 minus 16 is 0. The square of 0 is 0 by 3. This gives you the variance. 16 plus 16, 32 by 3. Okay. So
Okay.
this is the, so basically, what you have to remember here is the variance actually tells you how much is your each number different from the mean. So take the square of that and divide that by the, or is take the square of that and find out the average. Okay. So the formula that you can remember is variance equals to sum of the difference of the data point with the mean and take out the square. And then divide that by the total number of numbers you're dealing with. So let's say if you have 5 numbers, 5, 12, 16, 9, 14. You will add them, find out the mean, and then every number you'll subtract the mean from that number and find out the square. Add them together, divide that by n. That gives you the variance. And the last thing that you have to do in the spread is, it's called standard deviation. That is nothing but the square root of variance. So once you found the variance, take out the square root of that. That is your standard deviation. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, Sania, Arav, just wait for 1 minute. I'm concluding this class and then we'll resume. Okay, for you guys. So basically, when we talk about the uh, the spread, we talk about three things: range, variance, and standard deviation. Range is nothing but the difference between the maximum and the minimum value. Okay, so in a group of number, you look at the highest value and the lowest value and then look at the difference. Variance, we looked at the formula. That is nothing but the average of the data points minus the number, uh, square of that, divide by the number of numbers that we're dealing with. And standard deviation is just a square root of whatever you got for variance. In summary, this only tells you the behavior or the fluctuation within the number that you're dealing with in a group of numbers. Okay. Try doing some sums, and then we will probably discuss a little bit about this one in the next class, Dhanushri. Will that be
Okay.
okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So try doing that, the range, standard deviation, variance examples, and the Khan Academy. And then if you face any problem, let me know. We will do a recap of that in the next class also.